Hi everyone and welcome to another video from Explore the Outdoor. Today I took a trip to Hartlepool for the National Museum of the Royal Navy, somewhere that I haven't been before, and it is worth noting that these prices are reasonably priced, but if you have a blue light card you will get 30% discount. I think later on in the video I say 25, but it's actually 30%. So when you walk in, you're immediately met by the gift shop. But you do pay on entrance and you can go outside into the courtyard. It is worth noting that the ticket is a yearly ticket, so you can come back as many times as you want within the year. The views of the Hartlepool Marina are stunning, and also the old artifacts here are also kept in prime condition, but none so more than the HMS Trincomalee. Fantastic boat, and we get to go on it in a short while. The cobbled streets, the old buildings, the old windows make it feel like you are there, that you are in that moment in time and that you are part of history. These buildings all have unique information about the history of the area, and I decided to go and have a look and check this out. The attention to detail is impeccable, and when you step through the door, it's as almost you have stepped back in time. Hartlepool Marina and Museum have put a lot of effort into this, and they have made it to be realistic as possible, so the visitor gets the best experience, and it was a credit. There's lots of hands-on activities that you can do, such as these cannonballs, so you can feel the weight of them. Great activities for kids. So this is just one of the buildings that you can come in and observe and get to know a little bit more about the maritime history of the local coast and all the information and history about Hartlepool. It's full of old artifacts that were from that maritime era and voice effects and everything. Cannons, very interesting, and it's also worth noting that if you've got a blue light card, you do get 25%, 20% off. So, and you get to come all year round for that as well. So not just one visit, it's all year round, 12 months. So today it cost me £7, and so far I think that's been a bargain. There's more to explore. So this room I'm in now is the Gunport Gallery, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about armoury back in the day. How to load and fire cannons, musket balls, grenade and rockets. It wasn't a case of just filling the barrel and then pressing the trigger. There was quite a large amount of knowledge and education needed to ensure that you didn't blow your head off when you were firing these rifles and cannons. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So before I went into the other buildings, I decided to have a look on aboard the HMS Trincomalee, as it seemed fairly quiet and it didn't seem as though many people was on. I actually kind of had the whole boat to myself, the whole ship, and this was what I found. This was amazing. Actually a real true experience, and I would highly recommend it to anyone visiting the area. jeez. So in here, I think this must be the captain's area, because you can see the more finer quality of cutlery, porcelain and food. So very interesting. So I'm midway down in the ship now, in the probably dining quarter area of the captain's area, and I'm kind of the only person on board at the moment. I would really hate to be on here at night, and I bet you this could tell some tales. But guys, honestly, this is something that you have to come and see. This is really great. I mean, it's what, 1 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon and I'm the only person here. It's fantastic, absolutely brilliant. So we'll head further down. It's not too clever if you're quite tall. There's a lot of ducking to do. So, wow, we're kind of into the bowels of the ship now. All the pulleys and the thickness of that rope. I would really hate to think you got rope burn off that. I mean, just to give it some comparison of size, because it might not look that great on the camera. I don't know what you see, my hand to that rope size. Wow. Plenty of Vaseline needed for that. So the cargo area, whether this be water in the barrels or gunpowder, I'm not sure exactly. There's no information signs up. I could take it, it might be. It looks a bit like coal, really. There's coal in there. It's got that old smell. That old. So apparently there's a guidebook that you can buy at the entrance. She did ask me on arrival, but I politely declined. It's £5, and the numbers as you go around the ship, I think, link into what's in the book, so it tells you a bit more information about it. So it's maybe worth purchasing the guidebook, and maybe I should have done that. But live and learn, maybe next time. We'll walk up these stairs. This is very limited headroom. Magazines where gunpowder was stored and was guarded night and day by a marine. Nothing could cause fire was allowed into this storeroom. So this must be it here. So this is so tiny. I can't tell you how tiny it is. And then that must be where it's at, the storeroom in there. Really tiny room to fit into. And this was guarded night and day. Hi everyone, so I'm here on the HMS Trincomalee, which is in Hartlepool Marina. It was sort of started building in 1812 and I think first set sail in 1817 at a cost of £23,000, and it was part of the Royal Navy fleet. You can hear maybe some sea shanties going on behind me. You can go below deck, you can go into the eating quarters, you can go into the captain quarters, you can go into where the upper class people used to stop who were maybe as a guest on the ship. It's got a mammoth amount of weapons on board, gunpowder, so it's even got a room that it was stored in, copper plated, and there was no means of flame anywhere allowed near there, and it was guarded night and day by a marine as well. So I think we should go and explore a little bit more of this fantastic ship and see what else we can see. Just below there they do have a little pirate play park for the kids, and it did look really good actually. I know the camera just doesn't do it justice from up here, but you can get to walk on top of the ship and you can see all the cannons, all the attention to detail from the masts and the architecture of how it was built. Like I say, there was hardly anybody there, and I was surprised for a Sunday, to be honest. But when you go to the front of the ship there and you look out onto the marina, you could be sailing on the waters. It gives you that effect, and you get to know what life was like back on this ship. So the Trincomalee was ordered on the 30th of October in 1812, and it didn't actually begin to be built until 1816 in the maritime of that time, and it was actually built in India by the Wadia family, and this was down to a shortage of oak in Britain at the time. So the Trincomalee set sail from Portsmouth in 1847, and it was in service during that time in the North American and West Indies stations for about 10 years. During that time, it was quelling riots in Haiti and Cuba before returning to Britain to become sort of a training vessel for the volunteer boys of the Royal Navy. So one of the buildings just as you come off the ship had this fantastic exhibition of the horrible histories pirates. There was everything to do in here for kids. Obviously some things I couldn't film because there was kids playing on the soft play and things like that, and it didn't look good. But there was lots of interactive activities for the kids to join. They could dress up as pirates. There was these weapons here, makeshift weapons that they had to identify and who would use them. There was also a place where they could take the photograph here and they could get themselves as a pirate. So it was really great and really interactive for the kids. So it was time to go and look inside all the other buildings, but you're just reminded of this fantastic vessel. And as always, there was a quayside coffee shop. It was actually closed for some reason, but this did interest me, the concealing of decayed teeth. Back then I can imagine it would have been horrendous, no dentistry. So in this area is all the information you need to know about the HMS Trincomalee. It was this family behind me that built the ship, and we have the plans for construction and all the details that you need to know about the boat. It will take you a bit of time to read them, but everything about the journeys, about who operated, who was the captain, things like that at the time, is all in this area of the building that we just came in. So quite detailed information.
No one seemed to mind, but now everybody looks the same. Even the lads on deck are starting to dress the same way. Well, I don't mind myself. A ship looks tighter if the crew are well turned out, and you can tell the officers apart easier as well. Mind in my day, once we were out of sight of land or other ships, we'd stow away our good uniforms and wear ordinary clothes again. Even the captain allowed us. You see, by wearing our shore clothes...
So this bit did interest me. This was the chain of command section, and it gives you a detailed description of who was in charge. So at the top there was the captain, and all the way down the bottom was the boys. You can't really see it very well on here because of the glare. So yeah, get yourself there and you'll be able to see it properly.
He's no ordinary customer. They must be wanting a complete outfit, dress uniform and all the trimmings. Would you just look at the...
So again, a very descriptive and a very detailed account of what blacksmiths would have been like back then. And just next door to this was the local inn, the local tavern. Very realistic. It even smelt like it. I wish we could get smells onto here somehow. But it gives you an idea of what life was like back then in these taverns, and the cost of living, the price of things. Obviously, I don't understand the 1D and the 2Ds and how much that would be today. But there was various signs around the wall how desperate the Navy was to recruit people. Even it was to the point where they would recruit people against their will, which you'll hear about in a moment when I give a bit more detailed account of that. The main problem back in the day was getting recruits. Life at sea wasn't very good, and one Dr. Johnston referred it to being like a prison, but with the possibility of being drowned. So you may have heard the term press ganged, and these were lieutenants and officers that would not go out with pistols or swords because they didn't want to injure the people they were recruiting. They would go out to local towns and ports and bars and alleyways and locate the fishermen of their choice. They would be able to identify them basically and know that they were suitable seaworthy candidates, and either using a bludgeon or some tool they would either bang on the head or forcefully be taken aboard the ship and used as mates on the ship. Life was quite hard back then, and unless you were a skilled talent like a blacksmith, you probably would have ended up on a ship serving for your country. Local amenity store, by the looks of things. So it looks like we're in the local amenity store, so where ship personnel would have come in and bought for their journeys, bought all the items that they needed. God, times were different, weren't they? You do really get taken back in time in here. You almost feel like you're part of that time, part of that era. Real credit to Hartlepool for doing this. Real credit. It's absolutely fantastic. And you buy once and you come back all year. Absolutely fantastic. So back when this beauty of a vessel was sailing, scurvy was still a problem with the sailors. And it wasn't so much a problem in the 19th century, as they had physicians on board and they knew a little bit more about how to treat it. And scurvy was a lack of vitamin C in the body, and during the first stages of this, the physician would be able to diagnose it, treat it, and there was a lot of lemons and lime juice carried on board for that purpose. So they would be given the lemon or the lime juice to intake, and that would hopefully, you know, solve the problem of scurvy. So I didn't realise there was this bit as well. So when I've just come through the gift shop, this is the museum. I thought outside was the museum. And I'm only on 5% battery, so if it goes off, this is fantastic. I didn't realise this bit was here, so there's actually more going on. Outstanding for the cost. Really, really is outstanding. And I'm gutted as I haven't got enough battery. But let's see what we can get. So I really hope you've enjoyed my video of exploring Hartlepool Maritime Museum, and I was thoroughly impressed with it. I definitely would recommend it, absolutely 100% for the price. And if you've got a blue light card because you work for the blue light services, you do get quite a bit off, and I think you also get it off inside the gift shop as well. Seagulls going nuts again. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it, and give it a like, and thank you for watching, and see you soon on the next one.